Why every manager has failed at Manchester United since Ferguson. Manchester United. A club that once defined dominance in English football, now stuck in a cycle of rebuilds, setbacks, and false dawns. Since Sir Alex Ferguson's final season in 2013, United have had talented managers, big signings, and massive budgets. And yet, they haven't come close to regaining that consistent, fearsome identity. So why is that? If you love deep-dive football stories like this, where we explore the systems, the failures, and the human side of the game, subscribe to Thinking About Football. Hit the bell so you never miss an upload, and tell us in the comments, who do you think got the roughest deal at United? Let's break down the tactical, structural, and cultural reasons why every single manager since Ferguson has fallen short. The day the empire ended. Sir Alex Ferguson wasn't just a manager, he was an institution. He oversaw everything, from youth development to dressing room politics to media handling. He built teams, dismantled them, and rebuilt them again. His final title in 2013 wasn't even with his best squad, but his force of will, adaptability, and man management pushed them over the line. When he retired, United lost more than just a leader. They lost their system of accountability, their recruiting consistency, and their psychological edge. There was no long-term football director, no cohesive sporting strategy, just a power vacuum, and a desperate need to keep winning without understanding how they had done it for so long. David Moyes, the chosen one, but never the right one. David Moyes inherited a title-winning side, but no real tools to manage it. He replaced Ferguson's backroom staff with his own from Everton, which immediately disrupted the internal culture. His training methods were reportedly outdated, his tactics overly defensive, and his man management lacked the authority needed to lead stars like Rio Ferdinand and Robin van Persie. He was expected to carry Ferguson's torch, but instead brought a style that didn't match the squad's DNA. The football was cautious, the results declined, and the confidence collapsed. He was sacked after just 10 months. The chosen one banner came down, and so began the spiral. Ryan Giggs, interim, the symbol, not the solution. Ryan Giggs stepped in temporarily at the end of that chaotic season, and while his presence offered familiarity and hope, there wasn't much he could do. It was more emotional therapy than tactical recovery. Louis van Gaal, order without inspiration. Next came Van Gaal, the strict Dutch tactician with a CV full of trophies. He brought structure and discipline, and at first, that stability was welcomed. But the football was painfully slow, possession-heavy, overly choreographed. His tactics emphasized control but lacked freedom in the final third. United often looked lost creatively. Players like Angel Di Maria, Memphis Depay, and even Radamel Falcao couldn't thrive under him. He did win the FA Cup in 2016, but even that wasn't enough. The fans wanted United to win, but win with style, and Van Gaal never delivered that. Jose Mourinho, the cynical winner. When Mourinho came in, he brought trophies with him: the Europa League, the League Cup, and a second-place finish in the league. But Mourinho's tactics were based on containment and moments of individual brilliance, not fluid attacking systems. His defensive style clashed with the club's attacking identity. Worse still, he clashed with key players like Paul Pogba and Luke Shaw, leading to a toxic atmosphere. By his third season, the dressing room had turned, the fans were exhausted, and the board had to act. He was gone before Christmas. He later said that finishing second with that United squad was one of his best achievements, and in retrospect, he may have had a point. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the fans' hope, the board's gamble. Solskjaer's appointment felt romantic. A club legend, a Ferguson disciple, and someone who understood what it meant to be United. At first, the vibes were great, attacking football, big wins, that comeback against PSG, but behind the scenes, things weren't stable. His tactical setup was basic, and when United had to face teams with structure and intensity, they fell short. The team often played in moments, not systems. He helped reset the culture, brought back fan engagement, and improved morale, but couldn't bring United back to the top. The final against Villarreal in the Europa League, decided by 22 penalties, was a breaking point. That was as close as he got to silverware. Ralph Rangnick, the consultant with no power. Rangnick was never meant to be a long-term manager. He was a short-term fix with a long-term plan. Guide the squad, then help hire his successor and restructure the club from a sporting director role. But his interim spell was undercut by injuries, apathy, and players who didn't buy into his high-pressing philosophy. He was also given no authority to make the changes he wanted. The idea made sense. The execution didn't. Erik ten Hag, the idealist versus reality. Ten Hag arrived with clarity. Control possession, press with purpose, and raise standards. In his first season, things looked promising. He won the League Cup, made the FA Cup final, and brought structure back to the team. But his second season revealed the cracks. Key players regressed, injuries mounted, the press fell apart, and the club's underlying issues resurfaced. Recruitment misfires, dressing room fractures, and inconsistent board-level support. Ten Hag's tactical ideas are sound, but at United, tactics alone won't save you unless everything around you, recruitment, fitness, leadership, is aligned. The real problem: identity crisis. Each manager brought a different vision. None of them matched. There was no football identity driving the signings. No consistent plan from the top. Players were bought for coaches who never stayed long enough to mold them. What you get is a mismatched squad, bloated with talent that doesn't fit together. You can't build a system if every season you're starting over. How does it get fixed? Success at Manchester United won't come from the next big name. It'll come from finally accepting that football today requires long-term planning, sporting structure, and identity. It means letting go of the Ferguson blueprint, not in spirit, but in expectation. You can't replicate his success without replicating the system that made it possible. Until the club stops trying to shortcut its way to success, even the brightest tactical minds will keep falling short. Thanks for watching. Here at Thinking About Football, we explore the people, decisions, and turning points that shaped the game we love. If this is the kind of football storytelling that keeps you thinking long after the final whistle, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more. We'll see you in the next one.